everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet Rainbows and Butterflies. Today we are going to learn how to crochet these roses. Now before we get started, if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to never miss a crochet tutorial. Now for this tutorial I'm using crochet hook 3 millimeters. You can use any crochet yarn, but for this tutorial I'm using crochet 4-ply cotton yarn. So let's get started. We begin with a slip knot, and once you have your slip knot, you need to work a chain of 30. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue till you have a chain of 30. Now once you complete your chain 30, you need to mark the last chain. Right here, the last stitch. You need to put your stitch marker right into that. And now you chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now you need to work 1 double crochet right into the stitch that has the stitch marker. It's right here. Now you remove the stitch marker. Chain 1, you need to skip 1 stitch. In the next stitch you need to work 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. So it's a V stitch that we are working. Again you chain 1, skip 1 stitch. In the next stitch you work 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Again chain 1, skip 1 stitch. In the next stitch you work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Again chain 1, skip 1 stitch. In the next stitch you work 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. And now you need to continue working this pattern till you reach the end of this row. After you complete your row, you're going to be left with 1 chain. You need to leave that there, and now you turn your work. Now before we start the next row, we are going to mark the V stitches with stitch markers. So you need to count your V stitches now. This is the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You put the first one in the 5th V stitch. And now you count 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. In the 4th one, you put the next stitch marker. And now again you count 1, 2, 3, 4. And you place your stitch marker. Okay, so we have the first stitch marker here in the 5th V stitch, then again in the next 4th one, and again in the next 4th one. Now after you place your stitch markers, you need to work your first slip stitch in the chain space right here, chain 2, and now you need to work 5 double crochets in this same chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now in the next chain space, that's right here, before the next V stitch, you have a chain space. right into that you work a slip stitch. Now you need to directly go in the next chain space, and in that you work 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And now in the next chain space right here you need to work a slip stitch. Again, in the next chain space you need to work 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and in the next chain space you work a slip stitch. Now in the next chain space again you work 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and in the next chain space a slip stitch. Now we've reached the chain space where you have this stitch marker. Now right into that you need to work 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and in the next chain space you work a slip stitch. Now the V-stitch, after you remove the stitch marker, in the next V-stitch you need to work 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and a slip stitch in the next chain space. And now you need to continue working 5 double crochets in each V-stitch till you reach the next stitch marker. So I had the stitch marker in this V-stitch, so I continued working 5 double crochets right up till there. And now in the next chain space you need to work a slip stitch, and now in the next V-stitch you need to work 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You work a slip stitch in the next chain space, and now you have 3 V-stitches till you reach the next stitch marker. In all of them you need to work 4 double crochets. With the same pattern you need to continue working 4 double crochets in these V-stitches till the stitch marker. So I had my stitch marker right here and I completed the 4 double crochets, and now you need to work a slip stitch in the next chain space, and now in the next V-stitch you need to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2 and 3, a slip stitch in the next chain space. Now you have your last V-stitch. Right into that you work 3 double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. And now you need to work a slip stitch in the same space where you have your double crochets. Right into that space you work a slip stitch. And now you need to chain 1 and cut your yarn. You need to leave a long tail because we're going to use that to stitch up the flower. Now we need to stitch the flower. So what you need to do is, where you have your 3 double crochets on this side, you need to fold it and roll it up like this. Okay, now once you've done with this, you need to turn the flower. Where you have your long tail yarn, you use your yarn needle, and now you have your chain spaces like this on the other side. You need to get into them and try and get into all the layers and go in each of them around. Okay, you need to continue doing this till you reach all around on this side. Once you've completed stitching the entire row, you need to tie up the 2 yarn tails. And now you can cut your yarn like this. We've completed making the rows. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and happy crocheting.